Hey, good morning, friends and family. Here I am with episode 9 of Getting to Know Me a Little Better. I'm going to talk a little bit about the stock market this morning to start with. Well, what I recommend is still a buy. When you go to buy something, make sure it has earnings. Don't just buy a stock that has no earnings because you're buying the immediate hype if it doesn't have earnings. Stocks are driven by earnings price, so make sure they have earnings. Also, you will also notice an increase in volume if something's going on with a stock. So like if it normally trades 2 million shares a day, all of a sudden it trades 10 million, it's either up or down. If it's up, there's probably positive news out or positive news coming on that stock. If it's down, there's probably negative news coming. Don't want to buy a stock that's on negative news. Just because it drops $10, it can still drop a lot further, I assure you. I have been through that, and it continues to happen. Anyway, that's today's take on the stock market. Today is September 18th, I believe. It's the 18th or the 19th. It's a Tuesday. I'm in the car, and I just drove 2 hours to get to my first Home Depot that I call on. That's what I do. I call on Home Depots, and I train the associates and try to get them to sell more of PPG's product. Also, inflation. Inflation is here. It's going to be here to stay for a bit. The interest rates are going up when inflation hits. Interest rates are going up because the government wants people to quit spending as much money, believe it or not. When people spend a lot of money, that creates inflation when they're trying to buy everything out there and they want more product than our country makes. So that's what's going on with inflation today. A little more on investing is we had that flip house, which was in a previous episode. It was a great house. It came out really, really good. One thing that I learned in this was always be better to people than they expect. I don't want to say the better than they are to you because you never know what people are going to be good to you, but always be good to people and good things will come out of it. My partner, Lynn Tedder, he did all the work. He made that house look gorgeous. And, I put money into it. I bought everything, and he put his labor into it. I talked to Lynn yesterday, and he didn't actually realize that he gets paid back for all the labor that he paid his people to put into it. I get all my dollars back. He gets all of his dollars back. Him and I are partners. I told him he was going to get 50% of the profits. And he didn't realize that he was getting all his labor back. And, it really did my heart good to tell him, hey, you're getting $40,000 back. Most people wouldn't be that good in business. They would take advantage if they saw the opportunity. Don't do that. God will take care of you. That's my true Christian belief, that if you take care of people and you do the right thing, you will be taken care of. And that's been my last 20 years. It really is. Anyway, just want to tell everybody that. By the way, on that house, it never went to market. I mean, I'm not for sure it's going to close Friday, but we have the offer. I signed the offer paperwork yesterday. We're selling it to an investor out of California. An investor, believe it or not. He sees the good deal in the house. $310,000 is what it's sold for. We probably have $150,000 to $160,000 in it. So there's some profit there at the end, and everybody wins. Take care of your real estate agents. Take care of everybody. I mean, you don't have to make all the money. You're out here in this world to be a good person. The better you are, the better your life will be, and that's just my true belief. So we're very blessed with that. In this episode, and we missed a couple episodes, I wanted to say a little bit about my mom. She's still got some stories, I promise. So I'm going to finish this up with a quick story about my mom. Actually, it's two things about my mom. So and my mom lived out in the Pine Lakes area, by the way. She swore the last place she lived out in the Pine Lakes area, 44 and 44A area. And I don't know all the places that she lived out there, but she lived out there growing up. And I'm talking 3 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old, some of the time, because she probably, like me, she lived in a lot of places. So she was 3 years old, and they were walking down, and I found this out way more towards the end of my mom's life. It was actually 44A. They were walking down 44A. Can't remember if she told me it was dirt road or not, and she was 3 years old, so that would have been 1944. So in 1944, my mom and She was with her mom and one or two of her brothers, and they were walking down the road, and my mom got bit by a rattlesnake. Well, they were walking, and back then they didn't have a car. So they scooped her up and hitchhiked a ride to the doctor who treated her for the rattlesnake bite, from which she recovered. It was just an interesting story that she was bit by a rattlesnake, which I'd known for a long time, but I didn't realize where. And the other thing is, also when she was 3, maybe 4 years old, this was the other interesting tidbits, something to know, something to just smile about and say, wow, she really had an interesting life. Her brothers were being born, Richard and Raymond, another set of twins. And one of the other brothers were watching her. And to keep her busy, they gave her a cigarette. So my mom actually started smoking at the age of 3. Anyway, that's just something that's kind of unbelievable, but it's as she told to me. Anyway, we're going to finish this episode off. I got to go in this Home Depot. Home Depot is actually in Raleigh, North Carolina, off of Six Forks. And it takes me about 2 hours to get here. I'll drive. I'll be in here for a few hours. Got a meeting at 11 with one of our contractors. So, I'm mostly just a train guy. No, it's no big deal to the job. It's an easy job. I love the job mostly because it lets me do what I want to do. A little bit of that's been taken away lately, and I'm edging towards retirement. I'm 56. I've been thinking about the end of the year, maybe February, April, when I turn 57. February is my start date. It would be 22 full years with here. Anyway, just want to tell you guys, and hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. And we'll end this broadcast. Love you guys, and talk to you soon.